Final Fantasy VII is one of my favourite games, which is a bit of a double-edged buster sword when it comes to the Remake trilogy. Everything has to be good or better, right? Any changes to the plot or anything like that may have me reeling back in disgust.
Help me!
And at points, I did. I absolutely hated the end of Remake. I just didn't get the vision, and the wait between games was maddening. It's funny because I'm actually pretty nostalgic for the Remake now, and we're still waiting for the last part. Rebirth was a game I enjoyed so much I feel stupid coming away from Remake with doubts. But I do have some small concerns, I guess. Like, how the hell are they going to fit everything after Disc 1 into Part 3? I want Rebirth to feel to Part 3 what Remake feels like to Rebirth. Rebirth to me was very close to perfection. I've played through it multiple times at this point. After my first playthrough that took me 122 hours, I immediately jumped back in on hard mode. But there are some elements to the game that I hope they improve on in some way. The first thing that comes to mind is exploration. They've crafted this vast world to explore, but I'm not really exploring, am I? I go up an Assassin's Creed tower and reveal everything on the map. If this worked a little more like Breath of the Wild, where it reveals the landscape, I wouldn't have minded, but this is Horizon style. I'm just running towards icons. As much fun as I'm having playing the game, there isn't much sense of exploration. I'm not asking it to be like Elden Ring, but I don't think these towers have to reveal everything. Let me scale a cliff and randomly find something cool like a weapon or a summon materia. Speaking of materia, please can we not tie all the cool ones to Chadley this time? It's a great reward for ticking all these boxes, but maybe let's have a few cool ones out in the wild. After beating Rebirth and going back to Remake, I noticed just how much like the original Remake actually is. Midgar is pretty linear in both gameplay and exploration. It's the tutorial. Now that we have Rebirth to compare to, Remake is a lot like the original's first few hours in that it's essentially a taste of what's to come. Leaving Midgar in the original was crazy. The world felt like it got so much bigger and Rebirth captured that perfectly. But Disc 1 exploration was kind of limited. You weren't finding or doing anything crazy. After Midgar, the rest of Disc 1 was kind of a tutorial for the world map. First you run, then you gain different forms of traversal, finding most points of interest in the world as you head from story beat to story beat. What I'm getting at is the high wind. Like most games with the world map, the airship is the best opportunity to explore. With a couple of exceptions, we've pretty much gone to all the major locations featured in the world of Gaia by the end of Disc 1 in the original. The game has been setting everything up. Once we get the airship, it's time for the payoff. The training wheels come off and you're on your own. I know we have to go find Cloud, but what's this? And what's this strange little island? If we get the high wind in Part 3 and it's a glorified fast travel, I'd be pretty disappointed. I have faith that there will be more to it than that after the evolution of Remake to Rebirth, but I don't know if it's going to live up to what I'm building in my head. Going from Remake to Rebirth was crazy with how it essentially expands on everything. The whole way through Rebirth, it was introducing new mechanics and forms of exploration that was blowing my mind. But getting the airship in Final Fantasy has always been liberating because not only can you go to new areas, but you can also go back to areas you've been locked out of. But that never happens in modern Final Fantasy. We have fast travel. You can pretty much go back to all previous locations in Rebirth. We haven't had an airship worth talking about in Final Fantasy since 9. That sense of freedom might be a tall order for Part 3. I guess those are my gameplay concerns. Exploration in general. Is it just going to be an expanded world, more regions, more icons to run to and points to earn for Chadley?
Thou want some wealth.
Or are we going to get another huge gameplay leap? From linear to large regions to open world? Or is this more like Horizon Zero Dawn to Forbidden West? Bigger world and you can fly now. It's not a bad problem to have really. It's been like 2 years and I'm still trying to fill the void Rebirth has left. I absolutely loved my time with it. I liked Remake a lot, but I never expected this. After the PS2 era of Final Fantasy VII and more recent Final Fantasy entries, I was pretty skeptical Square Enix could do 7 justice. Crisis Core has its moments, I guess, and Advent Children looked so cool in my early teens. And the less said about Dirge of Cerberus, the better. The characters and dialogue were just so weird though. Nothing like I imagined when I was a wee lad playing the original.
Dilly dally, shilly shally. Dilly dally, shilly shally.
Remake nailed that aspect. Even though originally I wasn't too pleased with Remake's whispers and some of the other added content and padding, the characters were perfect and the gameplay held it all together. As fun as fighting Sephiroth is, I honestly hated this on my first playthrough. You're not meant to show up until later, mate. The characters though. Good lord, I never in a million years thought I'd like Cait Sith. But here we are. I wonder if part 3 will look into the connection between Cait Sith and Reeve and how it actually works. I remember looking this up years ago and wishing I hadn't, to be honest. Reeve having the ability to control inanimate objects seems a little overpowered, and he just uses it to control a little robot cat. Speaking of which, a blemish in the original game, he's been promoted to being the protagonist in the blemish that is the Shinra Mansion. It's a great chapter that saves itself with the introduction of Vincent and a great ending, but what the hell is this, man? I don't really mind the gameplay aspect of this, but I just hate the look of all of it. Where's the staircase? Let me explore this place. It's such a strange choice for an iconic location. Rebirth was pretty faithful up until this point, with the only exception being Gongaga, and some other additions like the expanded lore of the Gi. Oh, and Zack! That's a pretty big one. But some of these new additions have been a highlight of this remake project. My favourite chapter in Remake is the Jesse Biggs and Wedge one, the Yuffie DLC is great, Gongaga chapter in Rebirth is amazing, and the Zack sections are fascinating. Originally I wasn't down with the Whispers and Sephiroth turning up in every cutscene, but after Rebirth I'm more excited than ever for what's to come. There's a genuine mystery to this remake series even though it tells a story I thought I knew. Who knows where it's going in that regard, but regardless of where it ends, this has all been amazing, unless they mess Sid up. The characters have been perfect, with the exception of Sid. We've had a taste of the man, the myth, the legend, but I'm praying for that character arc. There's a small hint of some of that sass.
And I don't take kindly to that tone of yours. Man who tries to lord his power over me is gonna wish he didn't.
But so far, he just seems like a nice guy, honestly.
I want to help.
I'm hoping when we get to Rocket Town we get some of that Sid I hate to love. A highly flawed, complicated character who steps up when we need him most. When Cloud leaves our party and Sid steps up, that might be our opportunity to get to know the guy. I just don't see much potential for this Sid's character arc. It won't feel like he's redeeming himself when he gets to space. Oh, redeem! Final Fantasy VII Redemption? Which brings me to my next topic. What's part 3 going to be called? And to be honest, I couldn't care less. Does it really matter? It won't be Reunion, I can tell you that much. I think Return or Returns works, but I actually think it was foreshadowed all the way back in Remake.
Nothing but our due recompense, that's all. Due recompense, due recompense, due recompense.
As great as Rebirth is, it's missing a couple of things I enjoyed in Remake. Like, where the hell is darts? Okay, I'm not too fussed about darts, but collecting the jazz records was fun. I'm guessing the piano minigame is a replacement for that. But just slap a jukebox in the Highwind and we can chill out like a little hipster with our vinyl collection. It's weird to think that part 3 is going to be the end of all of this. All the time spent anticipating and speculating, it's coming to an end soon. In terms of gameplay, I have no doubt it's going to be the best. The Yuffie DLC was an improvement on Remake and Rebirth was an improvement on that. This will be a culmination of everything they've learnt making these games. So with part 3 I'm hoping Traversal will look a little less, what's the word, shit? It's safe to assume Wu-Tai and Rocket Town will make an appearance, but what about Bone Village? Can we get more Queen's Blood? I don't even care if it's exactly the same, I just want more. They nailed Vincent, but I do wonder about his limit breaks. Do we get all 4? Do we control them or do they play like summons? Do we go underwater? Do we go into space? Will Sid light a stick of dynamite with a cigarette? Do we actually defy fate? And will I understand the plot?
What in the hell is going on?
I'm hoping we get Tankceratops. I'm hoping we might get the Shinra Mansion in some way. Kind of like how the Yuffie DLC gave us an Avalanche hideout when we didn't get one in 7th Heaven. This will be the last opportunity for any of this. I think it'd be cool to see the return of previous weapons too, like Hard Edge or the Iron Blade. You could even keep the same abilities on them, but they power up the ones you already got. Like say you get the Iron Blade, but you already have triple slash, right? Maybe let it unlock a quadruple slash or something. I don't know, it was strange seeing them in Costa del Sol. Cloud went toe to toe with Sephiroth, and the sword he used is decorating the wall of Johnny's seaside flea trap. I guess that's kind of it. I know the music is going to be incredible. The combat, I don't know how you improve it, except add more to your arsenal, I guess. It's pretty perfect.
You know it!
The cutscenes and cinematography will be great. If part 3 is pretty much Rebirth but bigger, I could obviously live with that. But because I've seen a lot of the game before, the plot is now going to be doing the heavy lifting. A familiar world, but now you can fly about in it won't wow me again. Kind of like Horizon Forbidden West. Flying about at the end of the game wore off after an hour or so because I'd already seen the world and I could just fast travel anywhere by that point anyway. Remake and Rebirth set a lot up. Part 3 has the task of tying it all up, and again, this is the last part. They've only got this opportunity to wrap it all up.
Parting is indeed such sweet sorrow.